Hello and welcome to Titanium Talks Tarot, and today I will be doing a Are You Knocking Yourself Out of Your Intuitiveness This Week and How video. Alright, so for this I'll be using some concepts from SuperConscious Education brought to us by Christopher Duncan. I'll also be mainly using my intuition and the concepts from SuperConscious Education. And with that being said, my gorgeous triple tears, let's get into the concepts. Alright, so the first group of individuals, well, I will be using the 9 orientations to separate this reading. Alright, and what do I get as an insight today? You might see something that you've been working on for a very long time come to fruition, or at least you'll get an answer in regards to what you can do or where you need to go. Yes, and another thing is that when you see something that looks like is not for your best and highest good, it actually might be for your best and highest good. I have someone I work with who was able to catch a break and get some housing right on time to shelter her from a storm, like a very big storm. And then when the storm cleared, all right, she was back on the street, like against her will. Like they wanted her out, but she was kind of like, I don't get it, things seem to be going good, and then all of a sudden they're pulled from right underneath me. I'm like, but at the same time, she was telling me some less than favorable stuff in regards to this living arrangement. And I was like, well, it seems like God gave you what you needed when it was necessary, and then when it was no longer necessary and shit was going to hit the fan, he took it from under you because it was no longer for your highest good. Okay? Sometimes you need to look at things that way. You might not know every reason for what has happened at the moment, but there's definitely going to be a reason for later. So maybe you don't see the... Well, I was speaking about this person and then she called me. So that was an interesting turn of events. That was very interesting. Alright, so all this to say, you might not see it right now. There's definitely a reason why things happen. Okay? And it might make sense, it might not make sense now, but it will definitely make sense later, is what I'm getting at. Okay? So, now, with that being said, my gorgeous triple tears, let us get into the concept. Okay? Alright, so please, God, angels, and guides, anyone from the highest good who has a message for my perfectionists. Are they knocking themselves out of their intuitiveness this week? Yep. Nope. Maybe. Uh, uh, yep, no, maybe. And the reason why might be because of something you're trying to resolve a negative belief about yourself quickly, or you trying to respond and taking way too much time to think about it. So much time that you lose you lose out on what it is you were trying to do. Okay? So that was it for my perfectionist. Now on to my helpers, the individuals who intuitively know how to assist anyone in any given situation. So please, God, angels, and guides, anyone for the highest good or has a message for my helpers, please come forward and share. Are they knocking themselves out of their intuitiveness this week? Maybe. Yes. No. Maybe no, and yes. Okay. So, please, guardians and guides, what is all this yes, no, maybe about? Possibly because you are choosing, you are making a conditional choice is the reason why all this is taking place. Yes. I don't know what that would indicate, but that is what I'm getting. Okay. So that was it for my helpers. Now on to my achievers, the individuals who intuitively know how to assist anyone in any given. No, achievers are the ones who know how to set goals and go about achieving them one by one. Okay. So please, God, angels, and guides, are my achievers knocking themselves out today? I guess I'm moving a lot of energy. No, yes, and maybe. Okay, so what does all this mean? See, God, angels, and guides, and you got conditional choice because you are choosing due to a due to something else. That is mainly why you are knocking yourself out of your intuitiveness this week. So now on to my individualists. The individuals who intuitively know what to place in the center of attention, how long to keep it there, and how to get others interested in it, as well as for what aim and what purpose. So please, God, angels, and guides, anyone for the highest good, are my individualists knocking themselves out of their intuitiveness this week? I get a nope, yes, and a maybe. Excuse me about that. Alright, so are my individualists knocking, well, how might they be knocking themselves out? Conscious and conditional choice. Excuse me. You are overthinking the conditions to what you're trying to create. And I feel like due to all that thinking, you're not actually leaving room for God to create, right? So that was it for my individualists. Now on to my investigators, the individuals who intuitively know what to research, how to research it, where to research it, for how long, what aim, and for what purpose. Okay, so please, God, angels, and guides, anyone for the highest good who has a message for my investigators, please come forward and share what are they, are they are they blocking themselves? Are they resisting their intuitive hits this week? Nope, but maybe. Okay, so what is this maybe? How, why is this maybe a thing? Please, God, angels, and guides, and you got conscious as well as universal signs. So you're trying to consciously make sense of the universal signs that other people are pointing out to you. Yes, no, the trick with the universal signs is if you see it for a sign, if you see it as a sign, that is your clear sign that it is what was meant for you. But if someone else points it out to you that you did not realize, that might not be a thing. So either that's the thing that you needed to hear, but if it makes sense to you, that's just what you needed to hear. If it doesn't make sense though, you don't have to think about it, and you don't like. All right, I feel like I'm walking on eggshells here. What I'm trying to say is, if once the person told you that thing does not make sense, don't take it with a grain of salt. Is what I'm getting. But if it does, then absolutely listen to the advice. But also, if you don't have enough experience with a specific situation, don't explain what the person is telling you just because it does not make sense to you. Alright? So, that was it for my investigators. Alright? Now, on to my loyalists. The individuals who intuitively know what to stay loyal to, how long to stay loyal to it, and how to get others to be loyal to it as well as for what aim and what purpose. Alright, so please, God, angels, and guides, anyone with the highest good who has a message for my loyalists, please come forward and share. Wait, are my loyalists knocking themselves out of their intuitiveness this week? Yeah, yep. No, actually, that's a no. No, but yes. Maybe. This one I get is for groups. So you are either in the group of individuals that will, or those who won't, or those who might. So you're gonna have to. When I said might, I heard dust might. So watch out for that. Alright. Or I didn't hear. I thought of dust might. So check yourself before you wreck yourself. Okay. Um. So how might my loyalists be knocking themselves out of their intuitiveness this week? And you got complete flop. What would that mean today? My loyalists, complete flop. You're gonna have to be mindful of what triggers you and be able to stay the course of whatever it is you want to manifest, is what I'm hearing. Now it's the enthusiast turn. Alright, so please, God, angels, and guides, anyone with the highest good who has a message for my enthusiasts, please come forward and share. Um, my enthusiasts are, so please, God, angels, and guides, anyone from the highest good who has a message for my enthusiasts, please come forward and share. What are they knocking themselves out of their intuitiveness this week? Nope. Yes. Maybe. Different times. This is happening at different times. So you might start out not knocking yourself out. You might move into a time where you won't be knocking yourself, and a time where you might be a little if, and then a time where you might knock yourself out, but you might rein yourself back in at the last minute or things of that nature. So be mindful of that, my gorgeous enthusiasts. Now, how might this come about? You're trying to quickly and consciously fix the issue. And I'm getting, because you're consciously trying to fix it, you're not looking at the entire situation that is in front of you. You are looking at it, you're not, okay, so you're not looking at a systemic problem, or you're not looking at the issue from a systemic point of view, meaning which takes into account all the details that surround it. You are looking at it as a one-off thing, when in actuality it's a system. It's a system that has a repeating pattern that continuously repeats itself, and you've had enough. Okay? So please, God, angels, and guides, anyone for the highest good who has a message for my enthusiasts, how might they be knocking themselves out of their intuitiveness this week? Please, God, angels, and guides, anyone for the highest good. And you're trying to be unconscious about things, my enthusiasts. You're trying to make some. I feel like this is a new habit you've taken on, and this new habit that you've taken on, you off the bat, you are trying to unconsciously and naturally be able to do whatever it is that you need to do. But for something to become unconscious in your unconscious memory, you need to have done it enough times with in a good way for it to actually pan out in the best possible way. Okay. So yeah. So that was it for my enthusiasts. Now on to my protectors, the individuals who like to keep things safe and who like to get others to help them keep it safe, and they also know for what aim and what purpose they need to keep it safe. Alright, so please, God, angels, and guides, anyone for the highest good who has a message for my protectors, please come forward and share. Are they knocking themselves out of their intuitiveness this week? I get a nope, but a yes. There's this like tinge of a yes, which indicates that you're not completely out of the forest yet, but you're getting closer. You're nearing the edge of the forest, is what I'm getting. Okay, so please, God, angels, and guides, anyone for the highest good who has a message for my protectors, please come forward and share how might they be knocking themselves out of their intuitiveness. Boy, we got conditional choice. We basically have all of them. So, excuse me. You're conditionally choosing to see the universal signs that are in front of you and react unconsciously to them because you want to respond to the situation instead of choosing through default. If that makes sense at all. Okay? So that was it for my protectors. Now on to my chameleons, the individuals who intuitively know what intuitive style to use in any given situation. Okay? So Please, God, angels, and guides, anyone for the highest good who has a message for my chameleons, please come forward and share. Are they knocking themselves out of their intuitiveness this week? Nope. Yes. Maybe. I feel like it's three different. Well, it's kind of both because it's three different times, three different instances during the week where you might be knocking yourself out, and it might be all three subgroups of my chameleons, or it might be all of them all at once, or well, you're gonna check to see in which category you fall into, right? So please, God, angels, and guides, and for the highest good who has a message for my chameleons, please come forward and share how might they be knocking themselves out. Choice through default. Choice through default. Do you feel like you don't have a choice? But choice through default, it's making me think like you don't feel like you have a choice in the matter. And that is what is knocking you out of the issue. You know. It's not helping. Is basically what I'm getting at. Okay. My gorgeous triple tears. This is all that I have for you guys this week for this video series. If you like this and if you like me to go deeper into your specific situation, please contact me at the email in the box below, and it'll be my pleasure to assist. In that same box, you'll find a little description of this video and the email you can send donations to on PayPal if you feel so called. And with that being said, my gorgeous triple tears, I wish you guys all a very good week, and I'll see you next time, okay? Bye.